Welcome to eZeLiving.com. I'm Jan Herdman, and today we're talking with Mr. Paul from Spectronix Trading about new developments in hair transplant technology. Welcome, Mr. Paul. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
So, hair transplant technology, there's obviously some new developments. Can you just tell us a little bit about what's going on there?
Yeah, hair transplant has been there basically for the people who have, of course, lost their hair. And there have been various procedures till now, like the strip technique and the FUE technique. What we are doing exactly is that we have now a machine to help the doctor to do the procedure much faster with a walk-in, walk-out hair transplant.
Right, so this is a non-invasive procedure, or is there some invasion?
It's a minimally invasive procedure. We are actually kind of replacing the technique of surgery with a machine. And it makes it very minimally invasive. As I said, it's a walk-in, walk-out procedure.
Right, it's all done on the same day? Yes.
It's done the same day. A patient can walk in, the procedure is done, and he walks out. It takes about 3 to 4 months for the hair to come back.
Right. So is there an ideal candidate for this? Do they need to be partially bald or completely bald, or they need to have some kind of hair follicle?
Right.
I'm not really quite sure about that.
There is a classification of hair baldness and the people we can treat with this technology. You know, the most important thing is they must have a donor site, because we generally take the hair back from the scalp.
Right.
And this is the donor site.
Right, meaning that there has to be some hair back
there.
Yeah,
they should have the hair there, because that's transplanted back. But the good thing in this technology is that you can actually take hair from the chest, from anywhere on the body, and actually transplant them back in the area where they're required.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So how long after the transplant does the hair start to grow, and do they need several procedures?
Actually we do, you know, because it's a very tedious job. A hair transplant is like, it takes about 2 to 3 hours in the procedure. So it might be quite taxing for the patient. So what we try to do is we recommend them, depending on the area they require, about 2 to 3 sessions if they have a big area to be transplanted. So we divide the procedure into 2 to 3 sessions, and immediately after the procedure the hair comes out, but it will fall down and it will come back again for the next 4 months, and this will be like permanent. It will not fall down, this hair.
So do you take, is it follicle by follicle, or is it a big patch that you transplant?
Yeah, that's what we do in this technique. Is, you know, there's a technique called strip technique, where they actually take out the whole part of the scalp and then they harvest hair out of it. They put it back. There's stitches, there's scarring. It's a proper surgery.
Okay.
Here we are going follicle by follicle, and the quality of follicle harvested is fantastic. So it's follicle by follicle. There's no scar. No incision marks left, and it's fantastic, the results you get.
So is it a painful procedure?
It's under local anesthesia.
Okay.
So the patient actually is awake, he can be talking to the doctor, and the doctor does his job.
Right. So when they leave the surgery, what do they look like? Is there any evidence that they've had something done?
It's only what we try to do is that we shave this area that's behind the ears, both the ears. There's a strip which is shaved off, but to make it look more even, we rather make the whole area bald, you know, so that you don't have one patch left. So
well, that's fashionable these days anyway, isn't it?
And there's actually a person doesn't need to alter his lifestyle. He just looks same, and no one would know he had a surgery.
So after a period of time, do they end up with a full head of hair?
Yeah, if wherever we transplant the hair, they'll have the hair there, and it's about every graft there's about 2 to 3 hairs that come out. So it's as good, and it really depends on the doctor, because he's like an artist who needs to understand how the hairline should look. If it's not, so we emphasize on training. We emphasize on training of doctors, so they have that stylist touch to it when they're transplanting the hair.
A designer hair design, yes?
Yeah, it should not look fake, you know, because the hairline, you know, we say that when it's about your 4 fingers from your forehead. This is your actual hairline. When it starts going back, that means you're losing hair.
All right. And is it an expensive procedure?
Depends from clinic to clinic, but yes, technology does come with a price, and I think many clinics charge anyways from 20 dirhams to 100 dirhams a graft, so it can vary from clinics.
Per graft?
Per graft.
And how many grafts are we talking about?
We're talking minimum 500 to 600 grafts in a session.
Okay, so it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but you know, I always believe that people going in for these procedures generally are willing to spend, and there's no dearth of such patients. And
are there any contraindications for people having this procedure?
The doctor would be the best judge to really see what are the contraindications, but we're not looking, as I said, for the people who don't have a donor site at all, or who really do not. It's on individual choice also. And
whereabouts is it available? Is it available in Dubai?
It's available in few clinics, and they call it the robotic hair transplant.
Robotic hair transplant?
Yeah, so because it's safer robotic hair transplant, and it's the best thing that could have happened to bald people around. I'm sure
for those many people, bald people out there, this would be very much a saving grace. So thank you very much for joining us, and if you have any queries or suggestions or comments, then please leave them below. And this is Jan Herdman on eZeLiving.com, and we'll see you next time.